If you're watching this, chances are you're ready to turn your great idea into a real business, and you might be considering forming an LLC. First of all, great work. I love talking with first-time business owners because it always inspires me. The creativity, the energy, and the ambition. Now, one of the first questions you might have would be, do I need to form an LLC or is being sole proprietor good enough? Hi, I'm mattahnea with Ahn Company. Today, we're breaking down the differences between an LLC and the sole proprietorship so you can see which makes sense to you. Let's dive in. Let's start with sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship is basically you. The moment you start doing business, whether that's freelancing, consulting, or selling online, you're automatically considered a sole proprietor. No special paperwork is required. You report your business income and expenses directly to your personal tax return, usually Schedule C. There's no separate legal entity, which means everything is tied to your social security number. Let's have a look at pros and cons. Pros, it's easy to start, low cost, low maintenance. No state filings, no annual fees, less paperwork. It's perfect if you're just testing an idea or running a side hustle. Cons, there's no legal separation between you and your business. If something goes wrong, your personal assets like your house, your savings, your investment account are at risk. It can also look less formal to banks and clients, making it harder to raise money or build credibility. Now, let's talk about LLCs, limited liability companies. An LLC is a legal entity you form with your state. You can have one owner, which will be a single member LLC, or multiple owners. The biggest benefit? Liability protection. If the business gets sued or owes money, your personal assets are usually protected. For taxes, a single member LLC is usually very similar to a sole proprietorship. By default, it's a disregarded entity, so your business income and expenses still flow into your individual tax return, Schedule C. Alright, let's have a look at pros and cons. Pros? Liability protection. That's the one big advantage. And it adds credibility with clients, banks, and your potential partners. And it's flexible. You can choose to be taxed differently later. For example, you can elect to be taxed as an S corporation. Cons, it costs more and takes extra steps. Depending on your state, the filing fee might be anywhere between $50 to $500. Many states also require annual reports or fees, and while the paperwork is not overwhelming, you need to keep things clean, like setting up a separate bank account for your business, etc. So, how do you decide? If you're just testing an idea, freelancing on the side, or not making much money yet, sole proprietorship is the easiest and the most affordable way to go. If you are serious about growing, want liability protection, and need to look more professional to clients and banks, an LLC is usually the way to go. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, I will start with a sole proprietor and set up an LLC later, which is possible, but if you think about it, once you've been running your business and moving everything over later, it can get complicated. The more revenue you bring in, the bigger your risks. So I would usually recommend starting with an LLC right away. And that way, you can separate your business from your personal life from the beginning. Still not sure? That's alright. This is where having a tax professional with your side makes a big difference. I'm an EA specialized in small business taxes, working with creative, modern entrepreneurs just like you every day. Schedule your free tax discovery call today. We'll make sure you save more with confidence. Links in the description below. To recap, you just want to dip your toes in and test an idea easy, a sole proprietorship will get you going. But if you are serious about protecting yourself and building something that feels more official, then an LLC is the way to go. Either way, the most important thing is just getting started. Don't let this choice slow you down. Alright, that was all I have for today's topic. If you have any questions around your taxes, feel free to reach out. I have my contact info in the description below. If you find this video interesting, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.